I spent so much time going back and forth on what can I do. I'm only one person. And then I saw Bushnell's sacrifice that he made. I think that really shook me to my core.
My name is Miles. I am an Army vet. I flew fixed wing on the Army side. I wanted to join for a long time. As a kid, I think everybody gets wrapped up in whitewashed history of the military, what military service members mean to the community, but nothing really caught in a more meaningful way until I got to college and the financial reality of college kind of set in. And with 2 younger siblings behind me, I wanted to do my part to secure the finances.
I think joining and becoming a part of that apparatus, I still very much was of the mindset of, be the change you want to see. I think the big change as far as operation goes was that in Egypt. The MFO was established in the 70s between Egypt and Israel, reestablishing the border between the Sinai and Israel. An international coalition has set up a lot of real estate in and around that area, essentially to maintain the peace. That's the idea, anyway. When things are going normally, our mission, we're flying usually delegates back and forth between Egypt and Israel. You could see Rafah, you could see the border there, you could see the smoke on some days after a particular bombing. I myself only ever heard them once, which was enough. It was a lot of, I think, double think really was going through my head at the time, because on one hand, you have firsthand knowledge of the atrocities being committed, who's doing them, who's funding them, where these arms are coming from. It almost became a joke going to some of the weekly meetings we had there that, I was caught up on this 3 or 4 days ago when it happened. Why are we now hearing about the latest bombing, atrocity, etc., whatever, now? If you think of any Israeli piece that came out around the time that said, we did this in this area because we thought so-and-so was here, or this and that, that was really just regurgitated again and again. You kind of go through the thought process of, well, aren't we the peacekeepers? Isn't that our job? Why are we taking this such offhanded, we can't tell them nothing approach about what's going on and what is currently happening to the people we're supposed to be working directly with across the border? You don't have to pay too hard of attention to note that, this isn't so much of a peacekeeping operation. This is more of just we're maintaining the status quo. I remember once Israel started to occupy the Rafah border, a lot of us got concerned and asking the question, if the treaty that we're all there existing under has explicitly said that this border and its occupation is a breach of that contract, and said, okay, well, are we all going home in a month because the treaty's now seemingly just up for grabs, whatever Israel said? And then it became very evident very fast that it really was just a formality, that if Israel needed it to be done, then it was going to be done. After October especially, I think I went through a lot of guilt, not being able to do anything, being a part of the problem. And I spent so much time going back and forth on what can I do. I'm only one person. And then I saw Bushnell's sacrifice that he made, and I was like, I think that really shook me to my core. Was that it's not good enough to just sit here and say, well, I'm a part of this machine, but at least I'm not having a direct hand in it. I think that was really the wake-up call of, we all play our part. We are all going to decide this is normal, then it will be. And that's, like Aaron said, if that's what the elites are going to decide is normal, then sure. If all of us can decide that this shouldn't be the way it is, then I believe that could bring about fundamental change. But we are the largest contributor and funder for what's going on. So I don't think it can be expressed strongly enough that if from the bottom up in the military, operations ceased until, I mean, a ceasefire at the least, but to employ an embargo of that kind, I think it would grind everything to a halt.